Okay, so we're going to replace the wheel bearing on this 2014 Mazda. Basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab an extra one of these bolts. So this is a 6mm bolt, threaded bolt with a washer, and it goes in, it fastens in the back of the wheel bearing to hold the sensor on. Guaranteed you're going to break this off if your car's old like mine. You snap that off when you're taking it off. So then you got to clean it out, put the sensor on, but you're going to need a new bolt. Okay, so a new bolt, so that's 6mm, 12mm long. You're gonna need one of those. And this is the wheel bearing I grabbed for this. So it's just a Chinese wheel bearing. I got it off Amazon. It's actually very affordable. It'll probably outlast the car, so I'm not too worried about the quality of it per se. It looks decently made for what it is, but again, it'll probably last longer than the car, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so let's get to putting it on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take off the brake caliper. So we're going to take off the whole caliper and the rotor all in one assembly. Doing this, you can do it by just you can take the caliper off, and then you take the caliper bracket off, then you take the rotor off. I'm just going to do it with 2 bolts and try and do it with minimal amount of tearing apart as possible. So this is a 14mm. This one we're going to need an extension for. Okay, so now you got the bolts loose, you can pull them off by hand, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple zip ties. Okay, now you're going to pull the bolts out, so you're going to work them out, get them out. Get the top one out. Get the top one out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab a couple zip ties, because you're going to take this whole thing off and you're going to leave the rotor on, and you're just going to swing it back here like this, out of the way. And then what you're going to do is take a couple zip ties so it doesn't fall. And you just zip tie it, so you don't have to worry about it falling on you. Okay, now we're going to start removing the hub. So there's a heat shield usually here. Mine's rotted away, so we don't have that. So we got 4 bolts we got to take off. You're going to want to use an impact for this. I already positioned in there because it's about the hardest part. You come up through the bottom with it, and you put it on, and you take the bolts out. So you just keep going. There's 4 of them. And you also have the sensor cable that you want to watch out for. That's it, 4 of them. Okay, so next we're going to want to take this off. So you're basically going to need to hit this until it comes off. And this is, you want to make sure they're tight enough that you're not going to lose everything here. The other thing, before I forget, you're going to want to pop this off. Okay, so you're just going to want to pop your cable off. You're going to want to hold it for the last couple hits so it doesn't fall off. So as I was anticipating, the bolt broke off on the top of here. So basically what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pry this out. This is going to be corroded on the inside of this. So on the inside of that, that's going to be corroded. You want to watch the sensor because you don't want to have to replace that. So we're going to try and get that out now. Okay, so basically what I ended up having to do, I ended up having to use a pair of little snips to kind of create like a wedge. I ended up having to use a knife and a little hammer, kind of hammered it down a little bit here until I could pry it off. Okay, basically once you get it to that point, it pops off. It's that nut that's rusted really well inside of there. And you can see kind of the damage. There's a little metal piece in there. So and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab a drill set, because I know for sure that the new bolt isn't going to fit through here. So you're going to want to clean it out. There you go. And you just get it cleaned out. Okay, next you're going to want to grab a wire brush, some sandpaper, and a power wire brush. And you're going to want to clean all this out. I'll go up and down. So. Okay, now we're gonna put it back together. Okay, so we're gonna put it back together. So we got it cleaned up. We're gonna put some anti-seize on it. This will make it a little easier to go back together too, as well. We're just gonna put that on the inside edge where it's fitting together. Okay. Then we're gonna take our 6mm bolt and washer that we grabbed. We're gonna take this. We're gonna put the sensor through. Try and keep the anti-seize off of it. Put the nut and bolt through. Bring up our bearing. Put the sensor in. Make sure it seats. Screw it down. Okay, so the sensor goes to the top because that's the way it came out. Put it in. We're going to grab the bolts. We're going to put them in. So we're going to put blue Loctite on these, but I'm going to do it from the outside. So that way I don't get it everywhere while I'm doing it. Get those threaded a bit. Then we'll move to the other ones. Okay, so we're gonna pull these out. We're gonna put a little blue Loctite on each one of them on the back side. So that way when it pulls in, they get some Loctite on them. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna snug them up in a kitty corner pattern. So we're gonna go top, bottom, and just snug them up until they're kind of squared up. Now we're going to switch over to a 1/2 inch, and that way we can tighten them up. If you want, you can use your impact for this as well. Okay, so those are all tightened. So now we'll put this clip back in. We'll cut this pull tie. So we know that we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one screw in the back, or the one bolt in the back all done. Now we're going to take the brake caliper and rotor, bring it back. That just slides back on. Get 2 bolts for here. We'll stick some blue tight on this too. These are 14mm as well. And you do a little blue Loctite on the bolt. And then we'll snug this one in, and then we'll snug the other one in, and then we'll tighten. And we'll move over to a hand wrench. And there we go. And that's all it is to change the bearings. Rear bearings on your 2014 Mazda 3. Okay, hope that helps you out, and you can see how easy that was. It really doesn't take that much time. If I got an hour into this, I'd be very surprised. Okay, hope that helps you out. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Take care.